Okay. All right. I got a DM today, and from a guy who just basically was like, yo man, I'm trying to be a digital creator, trying to figure out how this works. How long have you been doing it? Are there any pain points or anything like that? And so I told him, hey man, watch out for a video. I'm gonna drop a video then the next day. So here we are. How I started my influencer journey, my digital creator journey. How did I get here? How did I get to this point? Let's get into it. So my journey started about 2014. I was in LA, this clothing line that me and my best friend came up with. What we were creating was bow ties, ties, and pocket squares. So we needed to find a way to market the product. So I'm like, damn, we can't afford to shoot any models. We don't have any money, so how are we gonna do this? So I remember being at work one day, and I used to follow this blog called What My Boyfriend Wore. And this guy that was based out of South Africa, I'm guessing his girlfriend kind of styled him, but he would always wear suits and swimsuits and ties and bow ties and all that stuff like that. And I was like, that's exactly what I need to do. I need to create a blog and I need to kind of look like this guy. And so that was one of the first kind of ideas I saw of this is how I'm going to do this. Because I seen that he was marketing other products and stuff like that on his blog, and I was like, damn, that would be a great way. So maybe I should put myself up there as a blog and wear our products so that people would follow us, or so that people would tap on our links and buy our product. And that's what exactly I set out to do. So one day I hit my dad up and I was like, yo, Pops, your boy need a camera. He was like, how much is it? And I had already did my research and everything like that. I think it was, can I remember? It was a Nikon D3200. That's what I had. And so I researched that, and I researched also the lens that I needed. I needed a lens and something that was gonna be cheap at the moment, but also gonna kind of get me those nice crispy photos that I was looking for. Never used a camera like this before in my life. My pops ended up sending me some money, about half of it. I ended up getting a refurbished D3200 Nikon camera with a 1.8 50mm lens. So I got all this on Amazon. Then I went back on Amazon, I bought a tripod and I bought a remote for the camera, because at that particular time I had nobody shoot me. My friend that owned the business with me, he had to work. At the time we were working at Apple. So at the time I just didn't have anybody to shoot me. So I'm like, I can't wait on anybody to do any of this for me. So I gotta do it. So if that means I gotta buy a tripod and a remote to shoot myself so I can get our product flushing out and get it going, I'm gonna do that. And that's what I did. Now, here's the monkey wrench. And this is where one of the number one places where people will stop in the process. I was at work, I worked at Apple, and I'm looking at the blog, What My Boyfriend Wore. Looking at the blog, and I'm talking to friends that work with me. I'm like, yo, I'm about to start a blog. I'm about to do this. I'm about to, put some suits on, all this stuff like that. They had already heard of our company that we had created, the bow ties, ties, and pocket squares line. And they're like, hey, you ain't doing that. You ain't doing that. You can't do that. Who gonna shoot you? What you gonna do? How you gonna get these clothes? They had no idea that my mind was already set, number one, and I had everything that I needed to create content. They didn't know that. For a lot of people, when they're starting a journey, whether it be a career or a passion, whatever it is, when they're starting a journey, they tell their friends, and sometimes your friends laugh in your face. And that's the God honest truth. Friends laugh in your face. And that discourages a lot of people. So I just wanted to pause this for a second and say, yo, if that ever happens to you, keep pushing forward. Because at the end of this story, you'll understand why I pushed forward. End of 2014-15, I started a blog. And that blog was johnthebaptistla.com. I think whatever it was back then. So John the Baptist LA blog was the blog. And that was a different experience for me, very stressful, because I started to understand that I had to be consistent. And this is early 2015, where Instagram still isn't really huge at all. Like, people are posting, but it's not like business wise. There's no influencers. Like, that wasn't a thing back then. So I was posting on my blog. I would post on my blog 3 times a week. So what that meant was I was going outside, posting up my tripod, got my camera out, my clicker, and I was shooting myself early mornings. I was a little nervous and afraid and embarrassed because I didn't want people to see me out there doing that. That's weird. You're a weirdo. So I would get up super early in the morning, crack a fucking dawn, and the girlfriend at the time, she would be asleep, and I would be getting up, dressing up in a suit. I literally would take a shower, put a suit on, put cologne on, like I'm going somewhere, because I just had to feel the moment. You feel what I'm saying? And I got up crack of dawn and went to shoot. I went to shoot, shot myself, figured out what worked and what didn't work, what poses and all that stuff like that. I figured all that out on my own and by things that I've seen on different blogs. So I seen the poses, I replicated the poses, and finally to the point where I got comfortable enough to do my thing. I would post 3 times a week, being consistent 3 times a week. I would write a little caption, a couple of paragraphs about how I was feeling that day, what's going on. So I post about 5 photos on this one blog post. That's how I do it. Now, then I would take one photo, one of the best photos I wanted, and I would post it on Instagram. And in Instagram, in the caption, I was like, new blog post, johnthebaptist.com, check it out. We're talking this, that, and the third. After a while, I started to get traction. And after a while, I started to find other bloggers on Instagram. And that was great. That was great that I started finding other people on Instagram that I could like replicate my style, see what they were wearing, save their photos, just kind of see what meshed together and stuff like that. And I really learned on the go, on the fly. This was not an industry before. Nobody told us how to do anything. We didn't know anything. We was winging everything. This was the time where Instagram's algorithm worked for you. It wasn't when Instagram was trying to stunt your growth. This was like growth was happening on Instagram. So I was consistent. This is my first 6 months and I was like, let's get it. It actually was working. I was gaining traction on the blog. I was gaining attention on Instagram, and also people were looking at our products, which was the main priority, was how much attention can I bring to our products? And so the idea started to work, right? One day, I got an email, and I got an email from someone that worked at GQ. Now, around this time, GQ had like their own portal where you can go on the GQ site, and it was called GQ Insider. So it's for guys who love to read GQ magazines and they have their own style. It was a little platform that was built within the GQ website. So I was on that. That's how I found a lot of people too, on that actual platform that GQ created. And so I get this email from a person that is a very high position in GQ, emails me and said, hey, love your blog, love the stuff that you're doing on Instagram. I'm like, yo, I only got like, at that particular time, I only got like 7,000 followers on Instagram. Love your blog, love what you're doing on Instagram, would love it if you're ever in New York, come to this GQ party that we have, and maybe you can visit the office. So I was like, cool. Ended up in New York. So got to New York and met the person that was in charge of this whole GQ Insider. She was the director of marketing for GQ. So she was very high up in GQ. And I felt like it was an honor to be able to get hit up by the director of marketing. And so after I went to the GQ event, I met a lot of New York bloggers. And again, at this time, like Instagram is still like, it's starting to move. Everybody's gaining traction because what's happening is we're aligned with GQ at that particular time. And I don't know if we were in a database or whatever, but I started getting hit up by certain brands. And I'm like, oh, shoot, free clothes? Cool. So in my mind, I'm like, I set out to do one thing where it was like, okay, I'm just trying to market my products, my brand's products, to where I basically opened it up to where, yes, I'm doing my products as well, but I'm also collaborating with different brands. So the growth stage started, like I said, the growth stage started to happen. And when I say it started to happen, it's like the hashtags worked on Instagram. You would hashtag things like men's fashion or dapper, and people would literally tap on those hashtags and come follow you. Or when you work with the brand, they would repost you and put your Instagram handle in there and tag you in the photo, and you'll get people that way. Or if you're working with different bloggers, or if you're in a actual group photo, people follow you because they follow the other person. You know what I'm saying? So the growth stage started to happen, and to be honest with you, 2017 was a year I was like, I don't like writing. I hate writing. I hate writing 3 times a week. So I took it upon myself, and I was like, where is this actually going? It seems like I'm getting a lot of clothes and stuff like that, and I feel like potentially it could turn into some money, potentially. I had no idea. I'm done writing. I'm done with the blog. I'm done with the blog. I can't do it. I don't like writing. So I discontinued the blog. I stopped doing the blog completely. It was still up there, but I completely gone away from the blog. And I was like, I'm just gonna focus on Instagram. I feel like I get a lot more attention on Instagram, period. And so what happened was I started to go crazy on Instagram. I started to post, and the Instagram algorithm it still was working for us. So if you're on there more, you were more visible to a lot more people. The Explore page had you on there. That's a lot of the stuff too. I forgot to tell you that the Explore page is one of the things where like, it was, when you go to fashion, it was like us. The bloggers on the West Coast, bloggers on the East Coast. And there wasn't a lot of us at the particular time, but we were on there. So we were getting a lot of attention from the Explore page as well. So this is the particular time where we started posting. We would post 3 times a day, sometimes 2 times a day. We were giving a lot of content out, and now that I look back on it, I'm like, yo, bro, why are you giving away so much content? Because 3 photos a day is a lot. It really is a lot. So being super consistent in 2017, things just started to open up. I started to get more collabs. I also got my first gig, like real paying gig. One thing that kind of leveled me up a little bit more is when I actually met my photographer. My boy Justin, I'll leave a link to his Instagram. So if y'all ever in LA and y'all need him, hit him up. I'm here to share with y'all. I'm not gonna hold him captive. I'm here to share everything that I have with you guys. So I'm gonna link his Instagram down below. And so you guys can look at his stuff. He's great, he's amazing. But meeting Justin was getting into photography as well, but he was so good. And I seen the potential in it, and I was like, bro, let's rock. Let's rock. I'll pay you this, that, and the third, and let's go. So he was like, all right, bet. My pictures went from this to this. Night and day. Night and day. And one thing about Instagram, especially in 2017, when your pictures are of quality, if they're great, if they're amazing, it's gonna get a lot of attention as well, because people like looking at a great photo. 2018 came, just started getting deals and gigs, and things were working great. Things were cool, money started coming in. End of 2018, all 2019 was my best year. My best year. Me and other influencers, we got hired to be in 2 GQ magazines. At that particular time, we didn't know that we were gonna be in 2 issues, but once the paperwork came and stuff like that, that was a moment where I was like, everything that I've done paid off, because one of my goals was to be in that magazine. And I got in there twice, back to back, different articles too. And so I'm very happy and very grateful for that. That right there just kept me going. Since then, I dealt with different spirit brands, different automotive brands. Lincoln, shout out to Lincoln. Lincoln I work with them probably 3 times a year. One of my biggest successes though was, of course, we've made money. Money's great, things are happening, things are moving right along. And then I get hit up by Nike. And do a gig with Nike. I'm like, damn, Nike hit me up. Oh yeah, we in. We made it. So I did the gig for them, and literally a couple days later, I was on Nike.com, the front page of Nike.com. And my mind was blown. everything that we worked for, everything that me and Justin have done, and Justin shot this. This is the great thing about it, is that when you're going up to another level, bring people with you. So everything that I do, especially when it comes to big gigs like that, Justin's always shooting it. We got on Nike.com, front page, the front of the site, Nike.com. So happy about that. That was on there for about 7 days. That's a long time on Nike.com. After that, went on a couple trips and worked with different hotels. Those things are great as well. Since me and Justin shot the Nike gig, then it happens again. It happens again, and this time we shoot it, and then it happens on my birthday this year, 2020. So in the midst of doing the Nike deal, we did so many other deals and stuff like that, but these are the big moments, big moments in a career, in an industry that people still look down upon. I understand it's a new industry. My mom, my grandmother barely know what I do. They just know that I make income and that I put pictures up, and that's it. So this industry is definitely a new industry. And for people who are trying to get out there and do it, let me tell you something, I'm gonna be real with you. It's not easy, but you can do it. It's consistency. Consistency is the biggest thing. If you want to get out there, you want to be an influencer, you want to do digital content, you want to create content for brands, stuff like that, you can do it. Don't let anybody tell you can't do it. When my friends laughed at me, some of those people that laughed at me now want to work with me. You see the irony of that? You see how things go full circle? So whatever your dreams, your aspirations are, especially in this realm, this digital realm, continue to push through. Continue to push through. Anyway, so that's my story. That's how I got in the game. I'm still in the game. And has it been fruitful? Yes. Am I still going to be in this game? Absolutely. I'll still be here. If you guys have any questions, shoot me a comment below. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, make sure you do so. A whole bunch of lifestyle and fashion content over there. If you have not liked and subscribed to this channel, make sure you do so. We're going to keep coming with content. I think I'm going to call it Real Talk. The Real Talk section of my YouTube, or about me. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna keep coming at you guys with this vulnerable content where I'm talking to you guys, letting you guys know about myself, who I am. Until next time, it's your boy John the Baptist signing off. Peace.